Around Father's Day this year, I did as I customarily do. I went to the drugstore to get a card for my dad and a card for James. And I was exceptionally proud of myself because this time, this year, I was actually going to get this card early enough to mail it to my dad so it would not be late. So I was proud of myself. I'm like, I am winning. So I get the cards, bring them home, all is well. Of course, Sunday comes, it's Father's Day, the kids have come up from college. We're all there ready for Dad to open his gifts. And of course, I have already signed the card, put it in the envelope. We put it on the kitchen counter where we put all of our gifts. And it's time. It's time for James to open his stuff. Now, why am I so excited? It's not Mother's Day, but I figured if he gets anything that's edible, I get to eat it, so it's all good. Anywho, so we're all gathered around. He's sitting at the end of the counter, and he's opening these things. He starts to open Michaela's card. Like, okay, great, read the card. So he reads the card and, oh, baby, that's wonderful. Gives her a big hug. Yep. And I don't think Colin got a card. It's more the fist bump. Hey, Dad, love you. Appreciate you. Happy Father's Day. And then it was my turn. And I said, James, open my stuff. Open my card. He's like, okay. And he gets the card and, he's opening it up. And I said, what's taking you so long? Open the card. He's like, I'm opening it. I said, okay, now read it out loud. Read it out loud. And he looks at me and he looks at the card. And I look at him. I'm like, did you forget how to read? Like, read the card. And he looks at me again and he has this funny look on his face. And me and the kids now, we're all just kind of staring at him, wondering why he is not yet reading this card. I said, James, read the card. He said, okay. Happy birthday. That pause you just felt, same pause we all felt, until we immediately burst into laughter. Here's the problem, people. I said at the beginning, Father's Day. Why did I buy my husband a birthday card? Why did I buy him a birthday card? And what's more concerning is all the time I was in the drugstore reading all those cards, because you don't pick the first one. All the time I'm reading those cards, I read that card. I'm like, yes, this is a great card. I get it home. It's sitting on the counter. I'm reading the card again. Oh, this is a fantastic card. I signed the card. Put the card in the envelope. Still thinking it's a Father's Day card. Don't know that I would have ever realized it had I not said, James, read the card. Now, what did I remember? What was the big aha at that time? Well, first of all, Christy clearly can't read. I'm asking him if he's lost his ability to read. I clearly can't read. But what I realized in that moment was a big question. Was I being mindful or was my mind full? In my attempt to be mindful, I got him a card, right? I got him a card because I appreciate him as a father. But clearly my mind was so full of other things that I did not even realize that I wasn't doing what I really intended to do. And while we laughed it off, and it really was a great card. If I had just crossed out happy birthday and wrote Happy Father's Day, it would have been perfect. And it really was a great card. And the feeling and the meaning was there. But what I knew in that moment was that I was too distracted. I was entirely too distracted, and I was distracted over a period of time. So much so that I never caught it. And so, the good news is, wasn't life or death, right? The good news is, I have a family that loves to laugh, and I have a husband who knows that I love him and I appreciate him as a father, so his feelings weren't hurt. But at the same time, it did indeed beg the question. Was I being mindful or was my mind full? And the question was clearly answered. My mind was too full of other things. And so that's the question I'll ask you today. Now, maybe you haven't had that experience where it shows up quite so boldly as that. But that's something to consider as we go through this journey called life. Are we being mindful or is our mind full? That's all I have for you today. I'm doing what I love. I'll talk to you next time.